We're diving into Guild Wars. We're just going to start on the hardest missions here. 20A, 20B. I'm going to go for this one right here. And the team that we're bringing might be familiar with this. Connie. Don't have an apocalyptic weapon for my scouts yet, but I do have something that can confuse, which is good enough. Doesn't matter how high level the enemies are, that can still take effect. Carol is bringing this wonderful multi-shot launcher, an apocalyptic weapon that we fully upgraded. And Daryl is here with his funky armor and his harpoon. Pretty confident that we should be able to get through this, but let's see how it goes. So I've only just started up a small guild. There's just the three of us, having a fantastic time at the moment. And the whole thing was to just make things a little bit more relaxed. It had got to the point where I was putting a lot of time into The Walking Dead, and we just scaled it back. But we are determined to kick butt when it comes to the Guild Wars. So this is an interesting map. Lots of sort of hidey places for those walkers. Not kind of difficult to kind of get up some speed and actually sort of sprint away from these guys. This is about as tough as a Guild Wars map can get. So what have we done? We've confused that guy. I think I'm just gonna go for it here. That Spiky is right next to us, but he's on fire, he's confused, he should not be a threat. Okay, trio of walkers right there. Gonna try as best we can to cuddle up next to Connie at the end of our turn so that her leadership trait kicks in and we get some charge points. But we get through to the end, not too much of a drama. So I did take quite a break from The Walking Dead, and some things had really changed. Doesn't look like Guild Wars really has. You go to the weekly challenge and you can have things like Doomsday, which is just... honestly, I'm finding that bafflingly hard. Going to just keep on leveling up until we can sort of take on those Doomsday challenges. Well, I'm not going to say easily, but consistently, should we say? I'll start doing videos about them, but I've given them a couple of goes. Occasionally I can just about fumble my way through, but they are insanely tough. There's our target. You can see got that pulsating red barrier over his class icon. So that's who we are after. Now I shouldn't maybe have done that because he's a goo. It means he can explode if we shoot him. There you go, Daryl came in. Kill those goos with a melee attack. They do not explode, they do not stun you. So ordinarily we would leave the hero battles for the less confident members of the team. Got an apocalyptic weapon there. That's maybe worth noting. Got my little team right here. Yeah, I got an infinite range sniper rifle. Very handy when you're going against human targets because they act weird at a distance. Well, that sniper rifle that Herschel's got will also ignite the enemy. And we get a double tap because Carol is the leader. Yeah, so Shane had that big, scary apocalyptic weapon. But if you can't get close enough to use it, it doesn't count for anything. It's just a big lump of junk in his hands. Moving down, we've got to kill all walkers. Let's keep the classic dream team. Why change perfection? Killer walkers, of course. Easiest mission type. Doesn't mean it's always easy, but it's the easiest type. We don't have to rush. Don't have to force anything. Take everything at our own pace. We don't have to worry about reinforcements, anything like that. Let the walkers come to you. Take them out one at a time unless you are confident about doing something like that. But definitely when, if somebody's maybe a newer player, somebody who's a bit less confident, then kill all walker missions are your friend. They'll let you try out some different strategies, different weapon loadouts. It'd be the missions to try at a higher difficulty first, to see if you are capable of just doing anything to sort of manage the threat. Search for clues. Yeah, let's keep the team. I was thinking of just bringing Glenn in. Obviously, when you have any of these mission types where you're going to be searching through containers and things, Glenn is always helpful. You've got what seems like a fairly modest leadership trait, just giving you, a little bit more action as you search things. It makes all the difference sometimes. There you go. I mean, we found what we were after immediately. Pretty good. I don't think we even need a charge attack there. Nope. You can see that we're just bashing through this. If I went back to some of my old videos, you'd see me struggling with Guild Wars. You'd see us taking on the missions and gradually increasing the threat that we face as we become more capable. Right now, we're going for it on the hardest difficulties, and it's not too much of a challenge. That's it's a nice old weapon that he's got. Doesn't really suit Beta. I think he looks best with a chainsaw. But anyway, I think that looking at these defenders, it tells us something. This is not an optimal setup. These aren't the best people with the best weapons that you could possibly have as your defenders. Take out the ranged character first. So yeah, if I'm looking at the defenders and I'm seeing that they're not really, haven't really thought about it, haven't really thought about who they've got there, they've just plonked whoever in there without considering whether they may or may not be effective, then I'm guessing that the team's probably not that experienced at Guild Wars, probably not gonna get the highest score, and I like my team's chances of victory. Very unlikely to be facing an extremely experienced team if they haven't put much thought into their defenders. Kill all walkers. Again, this shouldn't be too much of a drama. Could have pushed forward there, but why? That's the thing, you don't have to take risks when it's kill all walkers. Let them come to you. Ideally, you're going to be dealing with one walker at a time, unless you're very confident in your abilities, which I kind of am in this situation. Still don't want to get too cocky, because even if you think you've got it in the bag, I mean, things can turn quickly. Had that happen before. Oh, hey, I've got this, not a problem. And then, yeah, those walkers, they'll surprise you, even though they're just lumbering sacks of rotten meat. You can still be surprised. Got through that one okay, though. We're just bashing through this with 3 people on our team. What we're always looking to do is to do the hardest missions that we possibly can. Do the A and B, unlock the C island. Do that. That's how you get the most points, is by completing islands. Not just going for the hardest, most rewarding missions. You have to do it as a holistic strategy, should we say. Okay, I want to get rid of that explodey walker. I mean, that's one of those ways that the walkers could surprise you. Explosions can still cause a lot of damage, even if you're kind of pretty much just walking the actual mission. Okay, keep those walkers at bay while Connie does her work there. And we're out of there. Aaron looks so weird there. His head looks really, really big. His face looks huge. And it kind of looks like his hair going into his beard is just so sort of solid. It's such a clear kind of line. Okay. Let's not criticize too much. Kill humans, the mission's over. So there's not much that you can do, even if you do set your defenders up in an ideal kind of way. You're probably going to find that most capable players aren't really going to struggle to deal with them. The key is range, range, range. Somebody's going to end their turn in a position where they would clearly be getting their faces eaten off, but if they kill the humans, that's it. The mission just immediately ends, and they don't have to worry about any kind of face eating at all. Okay, I really would have thought we got the kill there, but I mean, I'm glad that Daryl just managed to stun that metalhead, but I'm surprised that wasn't a kill. Good old Confuse, very, very likely to kick in. Between them, Carol and Daryl should be able to hold off this mini undead horde. Easy peasy. Ditto, looks like we've got some goos, some special walkers there. Keep an eye out for them. I mean, if everybody... We're kind of getting through these pretty efficiently, but let's just imagine that we accidentally shoot a goo at close range, everyone gets stunned. We could really see ourselves in some trouble. Anything that might be a big risk, I like to take it out early. Ideally, I want to take it out from a distance. It's just how I like to do things. What I'm really, really keen to do is to get a scout apocalypse. I've got the blueprints for the kunai, which I think is an absolutely fantastic weapon. Really looking forward to leveling that up. But my gosh, it can take a while when it's apocalyptic weapons. You've got to get the apocalyptic pieces, the specific things, after unlocking specific blueprints. It takes some work, it takes some effort. Really does. And of course, we've got some interesting new stuff. Oh, this is a brand new weapon. I saw this in the store. I think it's weird that a shooter has a tub of streptomyces, whatever. I mean, that just looks weird to me. But okay, I mean, this looks like a more capable defense, but really you would want Daryl. No, sorry, you'd want Carl in the lead. Carl as the leader for your defenders is really frustrating. Yumiko, I get it, but okay, I wonder where they are. Kind of being funneled in here. Hi, Daryl. Bye, Daryl. Carl. Hey. Got interrupted. What do you know? Well, we're behind cover. Hey. Oh. Oh, harsh. There you go. I mean, defenders can put up a little bit of fight every now and again. And we have completed 20B. Let's dive into 20A. Let's just make this a marathon. Let's use up all of our attacks in a one-er. Now we could get more points if we didn't do the human battles, but we discussed it as a team. Everybody wants to sort of maximize their points, work as a group. Everyone's confident about taking on these missions at the highest difficulty. So yeah, I think it's only fair that we sort of share the burden of doing the survive battles. They must be done. They are definitely something which is very suitable for the less confident players in your team, because they're actually really, really easy. But they don't reward as much. Somebody could really rack up the points just by doing the hardest missions, hoarding all of the Guild War points for themselves. Really, if you're going to be taking on every Guild War battle, you don't need to do that. It's just being Jack. Sorry, that's a slight, that's a military colloquialism. It means being selfish if you're being Jack. Definitely remember first doing these Guild War... Oh, he's not dead. A bit cocky of me. I was very presumptuous. I assumed that double tap would finish off that walker, and it didn't. Still flipping going. Whoops, that was a misclick. Wow, that metalhead really, really... He was hanging on there, bless him. Flipping heck. There we go, got an unexpected goo. Surprised he didn't die. Okay, we don't need to worry about that regular walker. He is going to burn. Meanwhile, we are going to run. Yeah, we took these guys on before. And we'll take them on again. It's definitely a little something. If you're getting into Guild Wars, I do suggest you take a close look at your defenders, set them up as best you possibly can. Might not count for anything, but it only takes a minute really to sort of set up a team that might be effective, as opposed to one that's just gonna do nothing. I mean, look at that, not even a good defender, but Yumi is on fire. Got plenty of medkits, I absolutely do not mind using them. There's Shane, the main. Oof. Shot him while his back was turned with flaming sniper rounds. Not very honourable, but it got the job done. Guild Wars course, I think it's a very, very good way of getting some great rewards. Doesn't cost anything to do Guild Wars. A bit of coordination and a decent team. And you've got a good chance of actually getting some Guild War points. Doesn't matter entirely if you fail at Guild Wars. You're still going to get points, but you get more if you win. I do think it's still the most fun game mode. And it's definitely something where I would say people are always asking about, do you have to spend money, all of that kind of stuff. I think, how could I put this diplomatically? You will get more for your money now because there are things like survival manual, apocalyptic weapons, and it's certainly easier to acquire those if you're going to loosen the purse strings. But I would still say you don't need to spend money to succeed at this game. Maybe if you really wanted to plow through the Doomsday missions, I mean, you would absolutely need the utmost top tier gear. You really, really would. And it could take a very, very long time to get Doomsday ready. But for the most part, just sort of playing the game, I really would say that you don't need to spend cash. And one of the best places to get top tier rewards for free with just a bit of effort, playing a very, very fun game mode. Well, you're talking about Guild Wars there. We've definitely got an explodey walker out there. We just saw him. A couple of blind corners there. Carol, let's keep your back up. Okay, there you go. That's what I was worried about, is the exploding walker. Oh, crap. Tricky map. A couple of little twists and turns. Chance for things to go south. But we're okay. Beta with the rapier. I mean, that kind of rhymes. We can see that the enemy team is starting to score points. Was that 21 points that they've got? So good on them. I'm guessing that perhaps they are newer players, judging by, you know, the level of their characters here. Obviously, the actual level will always match that of your heroes. So in game they might be level 20 or whatever. Whenever I'm facing them, they are going to be level 32. But I'm guessing this is maybe some newer players in a newer guild. It seems likely that we're going to win this battle by a way. But it's great to see, you know, what I'm assuming some newer players getting into Guild Wars. Who knows, maybe they'll watch the video, perfectly happy to share any advice that I might have. And of course, if anybody's got any comments, please do leave them in the comments section. That's my run done. I think that's a pretty good start to this guild battle. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video.